Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage gardening here on Cape Cod, Mass, Zone 7B. It's right about the middle of May, and I just have to spend some time putzing around in my garden. I'm going to be planting some seeds, I'm going to be working on my roses, and whatever else strikes my fancy today. But I thought I'd bring you along. I'm really behind. I had a back injury, so I was kind of out of commission for like 2 weeks, and the weather really wasn't cooperating. It's been a very cool spring. But today I'm really gonna just do random things in the garden. I thought it'd be fun to bring you along. So come on. So this is my David Austin rose, the Generous Gardener. I planted this last year, right about this time, so it's about a year old. Guys, when I planted it, it was probably maybe 12 inches high, maybe a little bit less. And I pruned it back pretty hard this spring. I mean, not as hard as you can, but since it was a 1-year-old plant, I didn't want to do too much. But it is thriving. I mean, you can see here there is a little bit of insect damage, but not bad. I mean, that's to be expected. So I am just going to take some twine or some kind of ties and try to at least get this one long branch going that way. What you want to do with the roses on a trellis like this is, if you can, make it go like in an S shape so you get all the lateral shoots. So I'll show you what a lateral shoot is. It's right here. See how it comes up straight from the stem? That's where you're going to get all your growth. I think I can, all your flowers, I'm sorry. I can show you some more over here. There's one there. Here's the main stem. Here's another one. So let me go get them something to bind that to the trellis, and we'll do that first. I'm standing on my flower boxes. That's why I look so tall. So I'm just going to use these little twist ties for now. When you do it, you don't want to make it real tight. Make sure you have a lot of room for the stem to grow through. That's all I have right now, so that's what I'm going to use. I probably should have gloves on. While it's still pliable, when the stem is young, that's when you really want to just try to bend it to your will, so to speak. So I want this, it's going this way now, and I want it to go back that way. So I'm just going to take it and, let's see, tuck it in there and probably tie it right like this. I'm just going to take my twist tie, put it through, but not tight. Ow. This is why gloves would be good. They just got pricked. Just to get that going in that direction. There we go. Perfect. And then the other one I want to do is down here. I want to try to connect that somehow. So let me move the camera and show you that. So the next thing I want to do is take this cane and make it wrap around this fat board. So it kind of will go like that, get it on this side and weave it in. The only thing is, obviously my twist tie isn't going to work because this is a 4x4 post. But I found this little piece of like elastic string. I thought I had twine, but I don't. So I'm just going to use that. First, let me just wrap this around without killing myself here. There we go. And I'm just going to take it, pull this where I want it to be. Use this. Try not to break any of them. Just give that a, I want it to go like this. Put it down lower. There we go. I'm just going to tie it. Obviously, when I get some twine or some other thing, I can, there we go. Here we go. Setting up. And then once this shoot gets a little bigger, I can send it that way and make it go like this. Guys, this is year 1, and it's only like maybe a foot from the top, and it's only mid-May. So I'm really happy with this. And one more thing about this rose, and then I'll let it go, Carol. Look how gorgeous the foliage is. Look how shiny and pretty it is. And it has the most beautiful pink blooms. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plant up some carrots. I am literally a month late planting up my carrots. It is May 17th. Last year, I think I planted my carrots around April 10th. So that's the way it goes this year. So, and also, I used up this whole bed for onions pretty much. There's just one little, maybe 3 square feet left. So I'm going to plant some carrots here, and then I'm just going to go pop carrots in wherever I think I feel like it. So I planted like, I don't know, 250 onions this year. Way more than I did last year. So basically I plant my carrots 16 or so per square foot. I just make sure they have enough room to grow between each plant. And the seed is really small, so I don't bury them very deep at all. I was literally eating the carrots until I think February. So they really stored well and were delicious. We ate carrots for a long, long time. They were so good. Nothing like the carrots you get in the grocery store. And some of them I kept in the ground until like October. I was still pulling them out, but they were so delish. So I'm not gonna have you watch me plant carrots. Basically, I'm just gonna poke my finger in and just plant them up. One thing about carrots, you don't wanna amend like your soil when you plant carrots. Sometimes if the soil is too rich with nutrients, your carrots will come out with like, you know, 4 legs. They'll look like a little human, or, you know, something, just come out misshapen and weird. So I topped this bed off with some nice compost and cow manure compost in the fall and let it overwinter. So hopefully the soil isn't too rich for the carrots. I mean, initially when I took my carrots out last year, they were all kind of wonky, but then as they grew on, they became nice, straight, beautiful carrots, probably because some of the nutrients were leached out with rain and watering and stuff like that. So let me just show you what the carrot seeds look like. These happen to be Yaya hybrid organic carrots. These are the same ones I grew last year. I'll show you the seeds. They're really pretty small. Not super tiny, but there's the seeds. So I'm basically just gonna poke my finger in, drop in a carrot seed, cover it up. And I'm gonna do about 3 inches apart probably. So about 16 per square foot. And that's all she wrote. I don't think you need to watch me do this. Although it's so relaxing and pleasant out here today. It's a little bit partly cloudy, the sun's in and out, and it's really nice. So I planted the carrots over here in between my onions, and then I decided I needed more. So I don't know if you remember, this bed used to have the hinged row cover on it. I recently took that off because we put in a cattle panel trellis. So I'm decided to put, I already did it, I did a whole row like this, so I'm not doing square foot gardening in this little pot. I did a whole row of carrots. I'm doing a half a row of radishes. I just planted them. And now I'm gonna do a half a row of beets. So I did the radishes here. I'm just gonna cover them over now and give them a little press in. And I'll show you how I do the beets. It's really pretty easy. So basically I just made this little trench and I placed in all the little radish seeds, and now I'm just covering it all over. Just like that, pressing it in. And I'll do the radishes the same way. I'll show you those. Okay, so the radishes I planted down this part and back were Solaris radishes. These are blushing, not bashful beets. And I have to say, this didn't do great last year. So I'm gonna give them another try. So the way I'm doing it on this bed is I'm just making a little trench. How deep am I supposed to plant these? 1/2 inch. So I'm just kind of taking my trowel and just doing a little 1/2 inch trench like this. Pretty easy, really. Just kind of wiggling it. Okay. And then I'm just going to drop in my seeds, and it says 3 inches apart. I think beet seeds are really interesting looking. Oh, I didn't show you the radish seeds. I'll show them. I'll show you some. But see how they're like little, they look like little pieces of granola to me. So I'm just going to pop them in every 3 inches, about a 1/2 inch deep. And you know, I'm not measuring, of course, and nor did I plan this. It's just my MO. Just do it. Squeeze it in. Find a space. And then I'm just going to cover it up. I'm not going to water it in because we're supposed to get a lot of rain tonight. So I'm just going to let it go. Tamp it down just a little bit. Excellent. Now just to make a marker. So this was beets. And I know the variety, so I'm not going to write the whole variety. Beets. I'm super late on these too. on to the next one. I said I'd show you what the radish seeds look like. These are Solaris hybrids from Burpee. I grew these last year. They were delicious. Had them in my salads all the time. And this is what the seeds look like. So very easy to manage because they're kind of big and they're just round. They look like little stones, little pebbles. So the next thing I decided to put in the ground today is some chives. I don't have any chives. I actually just went to like Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those, and they had herbs, 3 containers for $10. So I did buy some, but I forgot I had the seeds. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant these. I just don't know where. This is how I do my gardening. Next to the bunch of onions. That's where I'll put them. Well, the chives I'm really late on because on the package it said like 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. I'm in the middle of May. My last frost was supposedly April 25th, which I don't believe. But back here, if you can see, these are my buncheon onions that overwintered and came back. And they all went to seed. They had these big giant seed heads. You can kind of see one right here. Here's the other one. This one was going to flower, so I quickly pulled it off because I don't want this stuff growing all over my garden. So, but it's kind of a cool little flower head. It's not even finished blooming yet, but thank gosh. Because it will spit out all the seeds and I'll have chives all over my garden. Not chives, excuse me, buncheon onions all over my garden. So, these, I'm going to use the square foot. If you notice in my beds, last year I had all the strings for all my square foot. And they all kind of degraded because I just used twine. So, I'm going to use this for this because it is 16 per. I'm just going to poke the hose. 16 chives per square foot. This thing's kind of silly, but it keeps you kind of in control of where you're putting stuff. All right, and I'm going to plant them up. It actually makes a nice little square. Let's see what the chive seed looks like. These ones are from Baker's Creek. Just regular chives. I like the flower, to be honest. Ooh, they look like small black onion seeds, which makes sense. Let me see if I can show you them. And once you plant chives, they are a perennial. So they'll hopefully come back year after year. These are tiny. I don't know if you can see in the background, maybe not. Mr. Hubby's, we bought a trellis for my secret garden room. To the left of my shed, we're gonna make it like a little secret garden. So I'm excited about that. So we're putting the trellis in for me. Okay, well this is kind of boring, so let me sow these and I will come back to the next project. While I'm trying to figure out what to do next, I'll let you take a peek at my broccoli. I just put this in a week ago maybe, and it was tiny. I'll try to link the video if I remember. Look how big they are now. They've really grown a lot. Guys, and look at what overwintered and came up. Ranunculus, can you believe it? Last year I got one measly yellow flower, and now I have the red ones, these yellow ones. Look at all the buds, whole bunch. Look how beautiful that is. It's not even showing the true color on the camera. It's really bright red. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I don't know what color these ones are going to be. I have some nasturtium coming up that overwintered. My garlic over there. Mint, of course, my mojito mint is going crazy. And I have all these that I potted up. These were from my winter sowing. I put some alyssum in the corner, but it's very, very tiny, so we'll see. And then if we go over here more, don't mind this 2x4. We're using that for something. I have my potatoes planted up. I literally just planted them like last weekend. I'm so late, but they're growing. You can see them coming up. Starting to emerge. I have a volunteer sunflower, and these are all my peas. This year I planted like 160 peas. So you can see. Probably more than that actually, because I went in and re-sowed because they weren't coming up. So now we have like a double row. But here's some lettuces. I have some, I don't know all the names because some of them were like a loose leaf blend, but I know this is black seeded Simpson. This is like bronze minuet, arugula, Not sure the varieties of this. This is some tatsoi, some Asian spinach, some more arugula over there. So it's coming. It was a cold, wet spring. So when I looked at my old videos, I was much further along last year. But that's okay. It all catches up. And since we're doing this crazy mismatch video of whatever I felt like doing today, I might as well show you that we did put up, it's kind of hard to see, but we put up one of those cattle panel trellises in the middle. I think I'm going to grow cucumbers and maybe some mini pumpkins on it. I'm not sure yet. Maybe some pole beans. We'll see. Mr. Hubby spray painted it black for me. We still need to secure it a little better, and I'll show you the other thing he's doing. Give you a little peek, a sneak peek. On this side of the shed, we bought that trellis. And I'm going to create like a little secret garden back there. It's kind of shady. So you're going to enter. The trellis is going to go right here. Mr. Hubby's cementing it in. And then I'm going to have to move a couple of plants. And the pathway is going to go this way. And then you're going to turn in here. And I'm going to have a little garden bench and make this like a little secret garden. I need a lot more plants. A lot. I just transplanted that peony. It was over in my little storage area and I never planted it, but it's got some buds on it. And lots of ants, so that's a good thing. Here's a peek at my shade garden. It's coming up. I bought all of these ladies' mantles to go out in my front garden bed, and then I had them in the sun and I watered them and they flopped. The people at the garden center said, oh yeah, you can put them in the sun. No way. So I think I might be putting some of these in here. I'm not sure. And my Buddha bed I haven't planted up yet, but the grass that I planted last year, it's called Mohawk, blue Mohawk something. I'll write it at the bottom. It's coming back. Overwintered. So I'm keeping it. Now I'm out to the front of the house. Look at my coleus and all my seedlings. They're pretty much hardened off right now. I haven't let them out overnight yet because it's been raining overnight. I don't know, I want to get these in the ground. It's just been so cold. The thing I'm going to do out here, you can see I trimmed back all of my tulips and daffodils. I just took the stalks and I'm waiting for all the foliage to die off so I can cut it down. But I was noticing my echinacea here. I love this echinacea. It got eaten last year by the bunnies. But I'm starting to see a little bit of damage on the leaves. See right here? This is Echinacea White Swan. So I am going to put some of this bug and slug, because that's what I think's doing it. So I'm just going to sprinkle some around. Like that. Since you guys are coming on a day of me just... There you go. My alliums, these are gladiator alliums. I put these in last fall, so they're just about to bloom. Well, they're getting there, starting to bloom. Just gonna check my gardens. Oh, and also the lemon coral sedum is coming back from last year. Something was digging right there. So I'm glad I didn't pull that lemon coral sedum. The other thing that overwintered that's coming back is right over here, and I'm so mad because I pulled out a lot of them. This is mealy cup sage. It's an annual coming back. All my guar is coming back. And I planted one of my James Galway David Austin roses right there and got a trellis. So I think that's gonna be pretty. And this is my Emily Bronte. This is not supposed to be a garden tour, guys. Let me go to put bug and slug on the rest of my plants. Peek at my little hosta corner. Guys, these stupid, prickly, see these weeds? I should look it up and see what they are, but they're terrible. They're like, I can't get rid of them. My hostas are looking really good. That's an Empress Wu. That is a Shadowlands something or other. I can't remember. It's a proven winner. And these two hostas here, I pulled out of my yard. I saw them in the middle of the lawn we were going to dig up, so I pulled them. Like, it was like one little tiny leaf. So I'm going to give these some bug and slug because so far they look great and I don't want them to get eaten. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I got called away to help my brother-in-law do his garden. He has a huge remodel at his house, landscaping remodel. So I'll show you that sometime. But I wanted to show you a little bit about my peas, what I do to them. So sometimes they want to grow like this way and set up the trellis, and they have these little hooks. See? If you just go like this, and hook them on and kind of train them up your trellis. I mean, they'll get there eventually, but sometimes they'll kind of tangle up with each other. I planted these really, really closely, as you can see. So I've been just going through and kind of giving them a little help. Little hook, so they start growing the right way. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to end the video here, and I hope you enjoyed just coming along and putzing in my garden. A lot of my days in the garden I spent just like this, just going from place to place and just doing little things, tweaking things that need to get done. Really, not every day here in my garden is like a major project going on. Most of my time is spent just doing what I did today. So I thought I'd share that with you. And I really want to tell you guys, I appreciate all your support. I'm glad you guys are watching. If you're new here, welcome. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. You can give me a thumbs up. That would also help. And until next time, guys, get out there and grow. Bye-bye.